so much, George. So, if anyone came to the last Open Studios, it's very exciting, but I only ended up talking with about 6 adults that entire evening because I had recreated the ransacking of sculpture space by 8 to 11-year-olds, and I did it in that studio where it was a lot of trash, but at the height of the average 8-year-old. And that meant, for some reason, I didn't foresee this, but all the kids ran into that space and had a lot of fun. Pillows I put on the ground for people to look up through the glass where all the trash was on top of it. Those little kids just took those pillows and hit each other and had so much fun. And all the adults, the ones that were brave, I got to talk to. And it was a discussion about how do we rethink of this kind of traumatic event, but also I saw so much good out of it. There was a lot of people like Kels and Max who came by to volunteer, and to me there's something that's so exciting about sculpture space. I grew up and cut my teeth in art in Detroit, so I feel like a post-industrial city with artists tend to be this different thing where it's not just about, oh, in my career I'm gonna rise and do all these things, but there's so much more collaboration. So the next iteration was, well, why don't I take a bunch of these metal sculptures and make queer cubes? And I had this feeling of why do I feel like I'm in an Edward Hopper painting? But there's is it illegal to paint bright houses in Utica? It's very gray in many areas. So I was thinking about, I want to make work about being neuroqueer. I want to make all of this stuff where we can talk about identities, but not in a way that I'm thinking about it as I am this and I will always be this. But I just wanted to maybe have a little bright, happy flag that says hey, there's a bunch of artists here. I keep leaving art everywhere I go, so I installed some square of colors on the house. If you look on the ground coming here, I etched into the concrete and then put paint in that. So there's a trail all the way until we get to here, where we have these cubes that are not entirely finished. And Kels can talk more about that, but I have this idea which is much more a communal question amongst artists, especially sculptors, which is there such a thing as queer sculpture? Is there an aesthetic? What does that look like? So in my studio is also these 3 columns that are something this is very straight sculpture, this is gay, and then this other column that just says, I don't know, other? And these are the kinds of things that I do. I usually make stuff to have a conversation that kind of gets me to think beyond what I can even imagine, but I can't do it on my own. So I invite you all to come by and get into this kind of conversation that might seem a little uncomfortable, but if you start thinking about the friends you have and the kind of work that they make, I'd be really curious to know what are the kinds of themes that come up? What's the kind of look that certain things have? Is there a certain reason why post-industrial cities might be a little bit more masculine or more rusty iron, things like that? But, and at this point, we're also going to invite some more queer folks from all around upstate New York, and hopefully some will come by on Saturday, and we'll just keep making work. But yeah.
She will be here through June. We are excited and to see what this last month and a half now will be producing. Working in collaboration with Cedric this last 3 weeks or so. As they share a studio in the back, please walk around, ask the questions, and see what they are up to. You want to expand upon who Cedric is?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about queer cubes first. So when I first met Cedric, we got along like a house on fire. So much in common, and then after this installation came apart, it was well, there's all these cubes. Why not bring some color and queerness to the area? And we were able to start using this 10 cubes in total. We're in progress on a lot of them. We also wanted to invite anyone tonight to collaborate on some. There's one that says Queer Joy out in the front with flowers. You can put your own flower in. And then also there's a pride flag that is for weeping, because it is community and we are all weep together. But it's also nice to come back to this area, and I've been living away in England, and to be amongst artists again, and also to be working on a queer project in this area is incredible, because being post-industrial and growing up here wasn't always where I thought I would be, but coming back, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm really happy Sculpture Space has become a family to me. And I wanted to say thank you, Tom and George. This has just been the most incredible experience. And also thank you to the donors and everyone that comes along and everyone that I've been able to meet here. You've made Central New York my home again. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.